This is Kutztown Live, Kutztown University's campus and community issues talk radio magazine. You can listen back to any of our episodes of Kutztown Live by going to Spotify and searching Kutztown University Radio. And now, your hosts of Kutztown Live.
You're listening to the radio voice of Kutztown University, KUR. Welcome to Kutztown Live. I'm your host, as always, DJ Aaron B. And to start off the show today, I am joined by Connor, Ryan, and Caesar from the Esports Club here at Kutztown. How are you boys today?
Doing good, Aaron. How you doing?
I'm pretty good. Thank you for asking. I always like what a guest asks back. It makes me feel good. Now, guys, a lot of our listeners here are members of the community. Maybe not so familiar with esports as it's a pretty new thing. So, can you explain to me what are esports?
Go ahead, man.
All right, so I'd say like esports is mostly just a competitive type of gaming where it's like you go against other people in other schools for prizes or just to like say you won pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Now, what kind of games do you guys play? Like as a club, like is there club specific games that you compete in?
Right. We've got we run 8 different games. I tried to name them all, but I probably fail on that. But they're all different varieties. We have card games, we have fighting games, we have shooters, we have a good mix.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're ever interested in a type of game, you'll probably be able to find a game that we have run competitively.
Okay.
Right.
And how long has the club been around for now?
The club itself started in August of 2018.
Okay.
And we've been looking to push it to where it is today since around then.
Mm-hmm. Now, esports, it started growing like exponentially in the past few years. I mean, I pretty actively like follow CS:GO like I would like football or anything else. Like
right.
It's become a big thing. So do you guys think like now's the perfect time for like colleges and to hop on like the collegiate train?
Yeah, I would say. Well, sorry, that was really loud. Yeah, I would say so. Just because like it's getting bigger, so like just like hopping on the bandwagon, it would just bring more attention to esports. Not even just like at a professional level, but like at a collegiate level, which is what we're really trying to push here with our esports club.
Mm-hmm. Now, can you tell me more about like how esports like has grown at the collegiate level, or even like how it operates at the collegiate level?
You want me to take this one?
Yeah, you got that one.
I mean, in recent years, it's really kind of exploded, as you said.
Mm-hmm.
With the advent of cheaper, more powerful computers, universities are considering more of these programs every year. So over the past year, with big internet personalities becoming more of a regular, like Ninja being the one that comes to mind. A lot of people in older generations are now beginning to catch on to how fast this is moving.
Mm-hmm.
And because it's moving so fast, you need someone, a representative like him to help with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, are there tournaments that you guys are like planning on to competing in, have competed in, like, and tell me about a few of them.
So there's like a few, like many websites like Game Battles, for instance. There's UMGs, that's mostly for Call of Duty, and those are tournaments that have been going on for a few years. Compared to now versus back then, they're, at least for Call of Duty though, they're not as used as often compared to other games, but they're still out there. And there's this new website that I found out called TESPA. Haven't really looked into that a lot yet, but I will for sure do that.
Okay. Now, are most of these tournaments, like especially the ones that you guys are looking at, aren't they other colleges? A lot of the time, or are they a mix of colleges and like outside teams?
Yeah, it would depend on the game.
Okay.
So with the more popular games comes more schools. So, for example, like Super Smash Brothers, Caesar's on the Super Smash Brothers team, and he plays with the team in a game that is so easy to pick up and play that, especially for college students, it's something that's extremely popular. So, there's every school that we have around here. We could probably name every school that has a student population above probably 2,000 or 3,000 probably has a at least small scene in the Smash Brothers.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Now, I know Rocket League's also really like big collegiately, isn't it?
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, I've heard of one of my roommates was telling me about a massive like collegiate Rocket League tournament that they have.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you guys have a Rocket League team?
We actually have two.
Two?
Yeah.
Wow.
2 teams of, I believe, 5 players. And then a list of subs. So we've got a lot of attention here for Rocket League for sure. Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit more about like how your team management works? Like how you decide? Like I know obviously like most people are saying like, hey, I'm good at this game. I want to play this game. But like, how do you guys organize teams?
That's a good question. Ryan, you got it?
Yeah, I got it. So pretty much we just show interest in the game. So recently we got a Call of Duty team, and we pretty much just gave in a reason, like a form of why we should be in charge of that.
Okay.
And once we got that, the process kind of slow. We like just need to take the time and find people, and then once we find people that are interested, we would have them try out for the team, and then if they meet certain levels of skill, then they would be on the team. And if not, then they could still be on the team, but they just wouldn't like play as much as other players.
Mm-hmm. Now, I just a question I often think about, because this is a topic I often think about. How's gaming on the school's internet? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, like, obviously,
Sure.
like, you guys have it Ethernetted in.
Right.
So I'm guessing that works much better than, like, the Wi-Fi in my apartment does.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, knowing how good BearNut is and how successful it is, that's a good question. We have a special deal with a company whose name is escaping me. Essentially, we have our own network here. We don't touch the university's network. So we leave this building on a fiber cable to Stratton and on a fiber cable to this company, whom I referenced before. And this company works directly with game developers like Psionic for Rocket League or Blizzard.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so from that company, they have nearly direct fiber lines to those game servers. So we have very little problems with latency.
Okay.
We did have a problem last week when a Call of Duty patch came out.
Mm-hmm.
The whole campus was downloading the patch the whole day. So I got an email from IT after I was like, hey, what's going on here? And they were like, yeah, we had the whole campus downloading a 50 gig patch, which slowed everyone down. So.
Oh, wow. That's...
Yeah.
I could see that. That's really interesting though about the special network. I would imagine a lot of people don't know about that. And is that completely new, like with the room?
Yeah, that came with it.
Okay, yeah, and that's what I kind of wanted to shift to. Could you tell me like more like about like how the room like came about, like how that was planned and everything?
You want me to? Okay. So. Originally, it started with a plan that I developed with some of my older e-board members who have since graduated. I came up with originally was a $35,000 plan for the school, and I approached the school with the plan, and I talked to Rec Sports, and they said, okay, we'll get back to you. And then 2 days later, I got an email that said basically no. So I was like, okay. I'll keep pushing it. So I kept going to meetings, and I kept going to SGB, and eventually, in the beginning of the summer, this past summer, so probably like late May-ish, 2019, the president of the university, Dr. Hawkinson, went to a big conference about esports. So he travels and represents the school, and so he learned a lot about esports there, and came back with an initiative. He wanted to get on board. So I was contacted by some IT administration, and they were like, "Hey, you're the man. Let's get a plan started." And took about 8 or 9 months until anything actually happened. Like nothing was bought, but a lot of meetings, a lot of planning, a lot of convincing the school of certain things, a lot of buzzwords thrown at them, but the big thing was they loved seeing how the club was run and how it was organized without any support, and so they told me that they wanted to see that on a higher level with this room, with the addition of the room in the MSU here, which by the way is in the basement of the MSU. I don't think we've spoken about that. We're in MSU 157 here, right down the hall. So
it's a very impressive room. I haven't been inside of it. I've only seen it from the outside, and I can tell it's impressive.
Thank you.
And you guys got those big pillars that say esports.
Can't miss them.
I like those a lot.
Can't miss them.
They were interesting. Now, do you guys plan on doing any sort of broadcasting of the tournaments that you guys are participating in stuff? And can you talk to me about that?
All right, so we actually have created a team Twitch account for Kutztown Esports. So we reached out to Twitch themselves and we asked, hey, can we have our own designated team page? So whenever one of our individual players is streaming, it automatically gets linked to the team's stream. So pretty much anyone who follows KU Esports on Twitch would be watching the individual streamers stream. So if there was multiple streamers at the same time, they can click through who they want to watch and stuff like that. There's also our friend of ours who is sponsored by a professional team who I guess is offered to help us grow and stuff like that and help broadcast our streams as well. So
yeah, we'll be working with Live Event, the class here, the CTM class here.
Yeah, I'll be taking that next year.
Yeah.
Also, see you guys then.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll be assigning some students to cover some events. So a whole new thing for them too.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a good idea to definitely get the live event involved. That's smart. And actually, Caesar, along with what you were saying, it kind of goes into my next question. Were you guys looking to get? Because I know a big part of esports is sponsors and being affiliated with people. Are you guys looking for that? Does the school let you guys look for stuff like that?
I can answer this if you don't.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they can.
So the school already has a couple affiliates that they work with, like Lenovo. Every computer on campus here is basically in Lenovo.
Yeah.
The other one, like PepsiCo. So that's a huge umbrella company. They have tons of subsidiaries. So tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., we are having a truck deliver 42 cases of 10 cans each of Mountain Dew game fuel to
oh my
the
goodness.
MSU. So because Mountain Dew is a subsidiary of PepsiCo, we could get a regular sponsorship with them. Now let me be clear, this delivery that they're making is not a sponsored deliver. They just want to give us products so that we can put it up on our social media. It's not, there's no money involved.
Yeah.
But that's the first step. We might be looking into Lenovo or other similar companies that the school is already affiliated with.
Okay. All right. Well, awesome, guys. You've given me an awesome interview. I've learned a lot, and I would like to thank you so much for coming on. But before we end, please promo yourselves. Tell me about what stuff you guys got going on. Do a little bit of recruitment.
All right, so I'll go first. So I am a member of the Smash team. So we host practices every Tuesday and Wednesday from 6 to 9 p.m. We have rolling tryouts, so anyone can just literally walk in the room during our practice time and be hey, I want to try out for the Smash team. And our director, who is Evan Shimcanon, we'll let you try out. You just play with a few of the guys on the team and stuff like that. And yeah.
Social media.
And social media. Oh yeah, follow our Twitter at Kutztown Esports. Also follow our Instagram, which is Kutztown_esports. So for Twitter we post almost daily, and then Instagram we post once or twice a week. So definitely follow us on social media.
I got you. Don't worry.
And then I'm actually the director of the Call of Duty team for the esports club. Right now, we are still trying to find players that would like to join. We have a few, but we are having tryouts this Friday. They'll be in the esports room. It's from 8 to 9. So if you guys are wanting to play, just come try and find either like Connor the president or me or anyone else that's really a part of the club that you can get in contact with any of us, and then we'll make something happen.
Okay.
Yeah, and a week from today is the 18th. So a week from today, next Tuesday, we have our second week of Kutztown Esports Olympics. So come on down, watch some Esports Olympics going on. Also, if you have swipe access to the room, we have a free shirt for you. So come get your free shirt.
Very nice. Now, just real quick before we go, what's your guys' Twitch again? Because I feel like that's probably the most important part to get out.
KU_esports.
Awesome. All right, well, guys, thank you so much for coming
Thanks,
on.
Aaron.
You guys have been great.
Thank you.
When we come back from the break, I will have Donovan from the Keystone on. So make sure you stay tuned for that. You're listening to the radio voice of Kutztown University, KUR. You're listening to the radio voice of Kutztown University, KUR. Welcome to Kutztown Live. I'm your host, as always, DJ Aaron B., and I am joined by our weekly guest, Donovan from the Keystone Newspaper. How are you this week?
I'm doing good, thank you.
Of course. Now, tell me, what's going on this week?
So this week, starting with last week, actually, the Keystone covered the events, the Mamma Mia musical show that played at Schaefer, which I don't know if you saw that, but it was a really well put together production.
I did not. Yeah, our programming director here told me it was good. One of our members was in it, actually.
Yeah. I was there. I wasn't there to cover the event. I was just there to watch and support some friends of mine who were in it. But it was really well done. They didn't miss a beat, honestly.
That's good. I wish I could have gone. I love the musical stylings of ABBA.
Yeah,
I would have had a good time.
Honestly. I'm not a huge ABBA guy, but I thought Mamma Mia was pretty good. We also had someone cover the KUVPA, the Kutztown Visual and Performing Arts concert, which was also in Schaefer that week. And that same day, I was covering a separate event for the Chinese Lunar New Year. I believe it was last Monday. Where that was an interesting event. They had taiko drums. I don't know if you know what those are.
I've heard of them.
They're really big drums, but they're traditional Japanese opera instruments, and they're just you have to hit them super hard, really emphatically. It's really impressive the way that they do it. But they had a full orchestra play and a whole bunch of cultural songs and everything. So
that event was here in the MSU, right?
It was in MSU 218.
Okay.
So it was really good. It was the Philadelphia. Let me see if I can. Yeah, the Philadelphia Opera House.
Oh, that's awesome.
Chinese Opera House, excuse me, is what came and did it. So that was an impressive event this week. There was also the in global news. There was the Iowa caucus and the New Hampshire primary that happened during the U.S. election. I had somebody cover that as well. I
bet whoever covered the Iowa caucus had a great time.
Yeah.
They had a wonderful time.
I think the headline we used was why the Iowa caucus was a disaster. I think that was the actual headline we used.
I was tried to talk about it on the show, on Kutztown Live when it happened, and I was just I didn't know how to put it into words. I was I don't really know what's going on. This is kind of a mess.
I don't think they knew what was going on either, so that's kind of that's appropriate.
I mean, they're still not a declared winner, so I guess
that tells you all you need to know.
Yeah.
Right there, so, in other news, I did want to have someone write an opinion piece on just parking in general at KU, because it's just, it's been a mess for years, but it's just something that I think the more and more vocal people get about it, the more there may be a change in just the way it's structured, or the way parking passes work for employees, for even for faculty and teachers, just maintaining it in general. The parking meters in front of the MSU need to be. I'm the one who manages those, so they need to be replaced most likely.
Like 3 of them are like broken, right? Like, or at least they were last semester, I thought.
No, I fixed all of them. They're just like they jam a lot. The batteries die easily. I mean, it's easy to fix, and honestly, like I hope we don't get rid of the meters because it keeps me a job. But like, for the sake of everyone else who comes to the embassy, they should at least be replaced with better meters.
I was gonna say, are they older?
They are older, and they also max at an hour. So you have to keep going back every hour to add more
it's
points.
really,
and it doesn't
kind of
it doesn't add evenly. It's a quarter is 38 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So if you add 2 quarters, you're basically getting cheated 8 minutes, which is a brilliant business strategy. But it's awful for if you want to park here. So I wanted someone to cover that, and then I also heard I'll have to find someone to interview this for this week. I probably won't write this personally, but I heard Johnson Hall, the residence hall, would be closing.
I heard that too, but I was told to keep it hush hush. I guess you weren't.
We're the newspaper, so it's our job to be nosy. So
that's fair.
We'll have to talk with ResLife about that.
You guys don't have any details on that at the moment?
Well, I personally don't, but we'll have someone cover the story more in depth because I guess people are doing a good job of keeping it hush hush.
Yeah,
and not telling a lot of us about it, but wanted to have somebody cover that. As far as sports go, women's bowling is going on, baseball's starting up, and then the basketball season's been going on, which I want to read a little bit from the article I wrote, interviewing one of the players and then also Coach Driscoll. It was a preview for the game at Shepherd, but it already passed on Saturday, I believe, which I was hoping that they'd win that, but they ended up losing. But it was coming off a loss to Lockhaven, and then they also lost to East Stroudsburg, I believe, last week as well.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, so I did interview them, and I interviewed the coach, who Driscoll's a really nice guy, by the way, and I believe I looked up a little bit about him. He is like the winningest coach in Kutztown history for basketball. Yeah, so and he's been here for 19 straight years.
Oh wow.
And this is what he had to say. He said that I asked him about like the chemistry on the team because they have a decent amount of freshmen, and also they have a few juniors who it's still their first year because they transferred here. So they have just like a lot of new guys. And so I asked him about team chemistry, and he said that that they've addressed it and that they have to keep continuing to address it. But as a team, you have to try and find your identity. He thinks that they're a lot better than they were when they started the season, and they're hoping to get rolling and get into the playoffs and make something happen. I guess what I take from that, he did also say that like this is the first time he remembers the team having an issue with chemistry. And if he's been here for 19 years, that's kind of significant because I mean he's gone all these years without that being a problem. I mean most colleges usually deal with new.
I feel like that would be a huge issue with college teams. Exactly,
because it's always there's people leaving, seniors, and then there's always new freshmen coming in. So it's kind of like chemistry is one of the things that like you just expect to be, like you expect it to be an issue like in the beginning, but you don't expect it to keep being an issue. But for them, that's kind of been one of their issues. Which they were 10-12 when I interviewed them at the time. So I believe now they must be 10-14. So,
how long is a college basketball season?
Let's see. I believe.
I'm sorry to just throw you that. I didn't know if you knew off the top.
I didn't know off the top of my head. No. I knew when I was writing the article. I believe it's about 30 games. I want to say.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because roughly around there. It's about 30 games, and then it's the PSAC tournaments, Pennsylvania State. So, yeah, I mean, the record in the PSAC was 8-8. So I guess now it'd be like 8-9, I'd want to say. But, yeah, and they actually played Shepherd earlier in the year, and they also lost that one. So I'm sure they were hoping to win the rematch, but they hadn't done that. So I figured that was just worth covering because, I mean, maybe they'll take this year as like a learning experience and, it'll carry over into like next year. I mean, he was hoping it would carry over into the next game. But, I mean, for next year, I'm sure like the juniors who did transfer and the freshmen who are good freshmen that they have, I'm sure that they'll be transitioning into like better team chemistry for when down the road, there's new freshmen and the seniors that are there now are graduated. So.
Well, I can only hope that they get better. Gotta love the Golden Bears sports teams.
Yeah, gotta support for sure. So that's about all I had regarding what we covered last week and what we're going to be covering this week. There's also the Vagina Monologues. That's going to be hosted by, I believe it's Kuab, or let me double check.
I got yelled at for calling them Kuab. They were like, it's
Quab.
Quab? Yeah.
Oh, I thought they would have corrected it to KUAB.
Yeah, right. I think Quab sounds sillier than Kuab.
I think it does too, yeah. KUAB. They used to be called ACE. That's that was so much easier. Good old times, but but that'll be in the MSU as well. So kind of like it was a big ticket seller, I think. I don't believe they're sold out, but I know that the MSU information desk has definitely been busy selling tickets for both that and Mamma Mia last week. So that was just another event that I figured we'd be covering, but for right now, that was all I had. And so if anyone's listening to this and they'd like to, join my section of the Freeform section of the newspaper, or if they wanted to write for any of the sections like news, sports, arts, and entertainment, feel free to email us and contact us. Should I tell them my email? My personal email is dlevi646@live.kutztown.edu. And if you wanted to email anyone else, then you can find their names on the Keystone website. But for now, that's all I've got.
Are you guys active on Engage? Do you guys have your updated info on Engage?
I don't know about Engage. I'm not even sure if we have updated info on the website, actually. But
I don't even know.
We're working on that. But I mean, there's been a whole transition, as I mentioned in previous segments, from print to online only. So it's been a time, but we're trying to get a bigger social media presence and all that. So.
Well, Donovan, thank you so much for coming on this week. It's always a pleasure having you. I'll make sure to catch you next week, and make sure you stay tuned in for the rest of the show. You're listening to the radio voice of Kutztown University, KUR. We'll see you right after the break.
This is Quinn Flory with your weather forecast here on KUR. On Tuesday, February 18th, we'll see cloudy skies with a 70% chance of rain starting around 3 p.m. Winds coming from the south from 5 to 10 miles per hour and a high of 43 degrees. On Tuesday night, we'll see cloudy skies with some rain showers before 1 a.m. and then they should stop and clear up. Winds coming from the northwest from 5 to 10 miles per hour and a low of 33 degrees. On Wednesday, February 19th, we'll see sunny skies. Winds coming from the northwest from 10 to 20 miles per hour and a high of 42 degrees. And on Wednesday night, we'll see mostly clear skies, winds coming from the northwest from 5 to 10 miles per hour, and a low of 22 degrees. This has been Quinn Flory with your weather forecast here on KUR.
Programming on KUR provided in part by the students of Kutztown University. Checking campus headlines, the Lehigh Valley Cancer Institute will bring its mobile mammography coach to Kutztown University Friday, April 10th. Screenings take place 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. in the Student Recreation Center parking lot. The screening service will be offered to women over 40 years old who have not had a mammogram in the past year. The event is open to the entire community. To schedule an appointment, call 888-402-5846. That's 888-402-5846. We check news about hourly here on your newsletter here in northeastern Berks County, KUR Kutztown.
You're listening to the radio voice of Kutztown University, KUR. Welcome back to Kutztown Live. I'm your host, as always, DJ Aaron B. And I am joined by the soccer club secretary and KUR hero, Sam Sebia. How you doing, Sam?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing pretty well. Thank you for coming on.
Hey, no problemo.
Now, Sam, can you tell me a little bit about the soccer club? What is it?
So I believe in 2009, 2010, the men's program was cut, so then it turned into the club soccer team. Club men's soccer team, as we all know, we still have the women's NCAA team who have been doing fantastic for, I don't even know how long it's been. They've been placing in the tournament, doing fantastic things. But the men's soccer club was formed in 2011, and basically it's just another club sport throughout campus. Right now we're listed at having about 32 members on the team. very competitive. We have our up and down seasons the past 4 years I've been here, but we're looking to have a very up season this spring with a lot of guys, a lot of new talent, a lot of new freshmen coming in.
Is it? Do you guys play in like a club league with the with like other Pashy teams?
It's not even just Pashy teams. Actually, we so what we do is we join different types of leagues. It's mostly like a travel team, I'd say, more so than it is actually a school affiliated team.
Okay.
So yeah, we do face like Westchester, Lehigh, and we don't face like NCAA teams. Sometimes they get thrown in the league during spring when they have like their semester off. But mostly we face club teams, like I said, Lehigh, Westchester. We face Bloomsburg once or twice. We've even faced like Temple, even some Maryland schools that I can't even name because just they're too far from me.
Yeah. You ever go anywhere like cool for club soccer?
The Maryland one was pretty cool because a lot of us don't have easy passes, so we had to do toll-free roads, and it was just a weird drive. Just seeing the outskirts of Pennsylvania and Maryland was pretty interesting. That was a cool one. And another one we saw, I can't remember the name of the school. I think it's the New Jersey University. If you can get it, I can't.
New Jersey University? I don't know.
I can't remember the exact name of it, but it's like the College of New Jersey or something. But that was like the nicest campus I've ever seen besides ours. Besides our
I think
campus.
I know where you're talking about. It used to be University of Trenton.
No. It might have been University of Trenton.
Is it like a little bit south of Trenton?
Yeah, we had to go through Trenton to get there, so yeah, possibly could have been that school, yeah. But we went there, and it was like, besides this campus, it was like one of the nicest campuses I've ever seen. Yeah. The stadium was beautiful, the place was beautiful.
There.
What's up?
They got an Insomnia cookies there.
Yeah, oh yeah, they do. They have they had it on they had that. They had Chick-fil-A. I think they had a Dunkin' Donuts and a Starbucks.
It is a bomb campus.
Oh, it's insane. I couldn't believe it when we got there. Like I never saw a stadium like that, especially for a club team. Usually we play on like, besides like our campus is the only one that I've ever actually played in the actual like football stadium. Mm-hmm. They had their own actual soccer stadium that was actually built for both club teams because I don't think they have a men's soccer team or a women's soccer team. They're both club, but the school still built the stadium and it's fantastic.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Do you guys play in spring and fall?
Yeah, we joined 2 leagues in the fall. That's actually one of the leagues in the fall is Pashy School, so it's like I said, what I just repeated with Westchester, Bloomsburg, anything like that. And then the other league is an 8-team league that consists of basically like first come first serve. So that's where you throw in like I said, the College of New Jersey, if that's right. If that's wrong, I feel stupid. But also, like I said, with Temple, Drexel, and Millersville. That was the one that was in it last year.
Okay.
And then the spring, it's the same one, the first come first serve tournament, basically. And it's actually a very competitive tournament too, especially for a club program. Knowing that most of these schools don't even have like head coaches and stuff, it's surprising like adapting to that. Coming into college, you would assume it'd be like very, very weak competition, mostly because there's no official workout programs or official like actual training and practices, no AM lifts or anything like that. But it's a very competitive league, especially going in and seeing a bunch of teams that only have like probably 13 to 14 guys, and it's like you think they get tired, but no, it's hard.
Do you think? Do you think it stays like so competitive, especially like at a school like this that doesn't have like an NCAA like men's team?
Well, that's what I try to tell them to be competitive, because I feel like when a club team is competitive and they get noticed, then it brings eyes to the team, and maybe the school can start to notice like, hey, maybe we should bring a program like this back. So that's what I try to keep in the eyes of the guys. Like now, take in mind they'll probably never see it through the 4 years that they've been here, because I since my freshman year, it's never even been brought up. But I just try to keep that hope in like the freshmen's eyes, because I'm like, hey, listen, if you keep working hard and you keep coming out to practice, and we have people who stop by from the university always like checking us out and seeing what we're doing, and if we're working hard and everything, I feel like one day that possibly they'll see the program for what it could be, and possibly open it up again to an NCAA team.
Yeah, that'd be great. I mean, it's always nice to have more NCAA collegiate levels.
That's what I try to tell them to do, like to focus on, especially the fact too, like it's exercise. Like don't come here and. I try to tell them like, don't come here and like give us 50% of your effort. At that time, you probably just, it sounds wrong, but you probably just should stay home at that point.
Yeah.
We're a good group of guys, 32 guys that are trying to give 100% every single practice, try to make the next person better. I always say next man up at practice, which means like if you're tired from giving it your all, let the next guy come in and like, let him rotate and see how he worked out, and try to keep it flowing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's great. That's a great work ethic. Are you guys out there practicing every week? Like, do you try to have like that mentality?
Right now for spring, just because it's hard to get outdoors, we try to maintain like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Fridays we take off just because a lot of us actually are like bio majors. Mm-hmm. Not me, as you could tell, but yeah, I know like a lot of the guys are bio majors and looking to go into that type of program. So they're mostly in labs on Fridays, so we try to focus on, academics before a club sport. But yeah, we're always on the field, and it's crazy too because we try to take whatever we can get. Mm-hmm. So like if they're offering the stadium at, let's say, 11 p.m. and we know it's going to be good conditions, slightly warm in like a winter time especially, we'll take that easily just because we want the practice in. So we'll stay out there. We've been out there from 12:30 a.m. to 1 a.m.
Nice.
Oh yeah,
that's dedication. That's you begging for a program.
Oh yeah, that basically we're just looking for the good slots. But again, at the same time, like I said, in the winter, sometimes we're indoors, so you could see us like 7 p.m. inside Keystone or Risley, just practicing futsal or just even conditioning. So suicides, basketball suicides are the worst. I don't know if you ever heard of soccer suicides. I call them the ABCs. Now let me paint you a mental image right here. ABCs in the soccer field. So you have basically the half line and the full rectangle field. So what ABCs are is you draw an A on the field with the line. So you start from the one end line, sprint to the next, wrap around, then go to the middle, come back to the start, and then make a B on the field, a C. And the farthest I think we've ever gotten to was, I want to say M or N. Yeah, it's brutal. It's a hard workout.
Did you come up with that?
No. I was my first time ever doing it. I was 11 years old.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and my coach made it up, and he was like really mad at us. And this is the first my first year on travel. And like I said, we were joking around. We were 11 years old. 11, 12, joking around. He's like, "All right, well, we're gonna do this thing called ABCs," and we're like, "Oh boy!" And then he explained it to us, and that's what it was.
That's rough.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way to get it thrown into a sport at 11.
Oh, basically, that's what I was like. I don't know if I want to play soccer, but then, after that, I loved it.
Yeah. Now, do you guys have any events coming up that you want to talk about?
We do have one event going on right now, which is a 50-50 raffle. Pretty simple. We're selling, I think each player's selling about 21 tickets. We do have a couple tables going on in Sheridan, Rickenbach, the MSU, and also BAM. That's every Tuesday and Thursday from 11 to 1. So come by, stop. It's $1 for one ticket, $5 for 10 tickets, or $10 for 20 tickets. And first place winner, of course, wins the 50-50. Second place winner wins a limited edition Kutztown men's soccer hoodie.
Very nice.
Oh yeah. So if you want to check those out, they look just like the KUR ones actually.
Really?
Yeah. I know. Zemetti went to the that. I can't remember the name of the place.
Like printing company.
Yes, yeah, you went there. I think we went through 4 imprint, but the hoodies feel and look the exact same, except it doesn't say KUR. It says Kutztown Men's Soccer on it.
Yeah, definitely. Go help out Mr. CB over here. Go participate in the 50-50.
Definitely help us out, and definitely check out some games we play every Saturday. I believe we start up on the 3rd week of March and play all the way to finals week. We're every Saturday at noon, sometimes on Keystone's field, sometimes on the rugby grass field, depending on who we are playing.
Okay. That sounds good. We'll be out there. We'll be supporting.
Oh, you guys, please come. Make some signs.
Definitely. I'm getting a cardboard cut out of your face, whether you like it or not.
I would love it.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. Well, thank you again, Sam, so much for coming on. It's been great.
Hey, no problem. I always wanted to be on Kutztown Live.
Oh, you've done it now. You're in the big leagues now, buddy.
Oh, God, yes.
Make sure you stay tuned till after the break. You're listening to the radio voice of Kutztown University, KUR. You're listening to the radio voice of Kutztown University, KUR. Welcome back to Kutztown Live. I'm your host, as always, DJ Aaron B. And before I roll into a new segment that we wanted to try out this week, I just wanted to get to some cool local news real quick, just because it's something that we've been doing. and I think this is my favorite piece of local news I've ever reported on. Wawa is trying out selling burgers and chicken patties and waffle fries in one select trial location right now. They are trying out all of these items, and the reviews are not good. The reviews and, in my opinion, the images I have seen, they do not look good. I am joined by fellow KUR host DJ AC to also weigh in on some of this. What do you think? Wawa burgers?
No.
No? I think it's kind of a sad ploy to try to compete with Sheetz.
A very, very sad plot. I think they should just stick to what they have and just make really good hoagies.
Yeah, Wawa certainly become known for their great hoagies and even a lot of the things that they've tested out recently that kind of fall in line with what they make, like the smoothies, like the club sandwiches, like the quesadillas. They've been received really well, and I love them.
The smoothies never disappoint.
Oh yeah,
especially with the yogurt.
Oh man,
I've never tasted anything better. But catch me going to Sheetz for any kind of fried food.
Yeah, the fried food, I just don't know if that's a look from Wawa.
It's not.
Yeah, I don't know if that's that's kind of something I want from Wawa. We'll see. Maybe it'll get better. Maybe they'll just cut it. If it
just doesn't sound promising.
Yeah,
I don't think it's going to be a very good trial.
I haven't heard anything positive so far about it. So
I'm sure we will soon.
Yeah, maybe. Moving on to other cool local news. It turns out that a painting that was shown off in the Allentown Art Museum as a Rembrandt knockoff. They've discovered that Rembrandt himself did paint it.
Really?
Yes. They thought this painting was painted by one of his students and just left in his workshop when it was discovered. But they had some experts look over it. They did some restorations to the painting, and they noticed some finer details about it. And they said, "Wow, this is from the man himself."
Why did it take so long for them to?
I don't know. That's a little weird. I don't understand how we still make discoveries this in 2020. Yeah.
I mean, we just discovered we can balance brooms.
I've seen that for a few years, but that
I don't know why I haven't.
This is real interesting, and it was in the Allentown Art Museum for about 3 years, and before
it's not very long.
Yeah, and then they sent it to New York University, the old NYU, to get restored.
I love that.
And then NYU looked at it and they were like, this is a Rembrandt. So very interesting stuff there.
It's him.
Moving on to more news. A judge in Northampton County is hearing some arguments over their new voting machines that have caused quite a controversy in the country. These are the same electronic voting machines that were used in Iowa. That caused all the fuss over there, and
all the confusion.
Yeah, and it's looking like Northampton County, which contains about 17% of Pennsylvania's registered voters.
Sheesh.
It will be using that. As of right now, tentatively, they're using it. But a judge is listening to arguments from people who are arguing for a paper ballot, one of which being the governor of Pennsylvania, Tom Wolf.
It should be a paper ballot.
And yeah, it totally should be a paper ballot. That's certainly we've
you can't possibly screw that up.
Yeah, we found that a paper ballot is certainly the safest way for voting. Like the electronic voting, it clearly doesn't make anything easier after what happened in Iowa. We Donovan and I mentioned it earlier. We still don't know who won that. So hopefully the judge.
Everyone's just gonna say it was Pete.
Yeah. Hopefully the judge in Northampton does listen to the community there, and especially the people that are arguing for the paper ballot. It's definitely the good look there. And our last bit of local news, music, a little bit of Music Fest news. As you know, we're a radio station. We
love
like music. We like music here. We like going to concerts. And it's been announced that the indie rock band The National will be opening up for Music Fest in Bethlehem this summer, July 31st. So get hyped for that. I know I'm staying up here in the old Berks County, the old 610 for the summer, so I'll be around. I'm going.
Can't say I'll be around.
I'm sorry. I'll send you pictures.
Okay, whatever.
You can pretend like you're with me. But like I had mentioned earlier, I had an idea. I had a big brain moment, you can call it, and I decided I kind of wanted to do a new segment on this show, and it's going to be a tentative name right now, Weekly Weird News. I love weird news. I love reading the news.
It's nothing too new.
I'll fight you.
It's just weird stuff now.
It's weird now. And I'm really excited to do this. And our first story, Papa John Schnatter lied.
Oh, yeah.
Did he lie?
Yes, he did.
Now, if you're not aware, the disgraced former CEO and chairman and founder of Papa John's Pizza, John Schnatter, after all of his being kicked out of the company, it was huge national news. Everyone knows about it. But he was on an interview in December with a Fox affiliate station where he had mentioned that he had, in the past 30 days, he had 40 pizzas, 40 Papa John's pizzas. And everyone was kind of in shock. It kind of made the earth stand still. The idea of a man consuming 40 pizzas in 30 days was enough to rock any community. But he has come on to the H3H3 podcast, and he has clarified he did not eat 40 pizzas in 30 days.
Shame.
He had merely inspected 40 pizzas in 30 days. And I think that's a weak cop-out. I think he honestly, he looked much cooler in the public eye when he said, when people thought he had actually consumed that ungodly amount of pizza. I don't know, and the way he was talking about it was really weird. I'd listened to the podcast. He was talking about what his definition of like inspection was, and
oh my god, he had a whole chart.
Oh yeah, he did.
He had like a pizza inspection chart, and I remember
10-point pizza chart.
Yeah, I remember that. He made a very good point about how the cheese should like melt over the crust, because I don't know what's so displeasing about it, but I'm not a fan of pizza that has like that like pile of sauce just right next to the crust.
Oh yeah, it's disappointing.
I don't know what it is about it. It's just visually displeasing. I just like it entirely covered with cheese.
I agree with you there. That's why I'm a big pan pizza guy. I feel like you get that the most with pan pizzas.
A lot of pan pizzas.
But yeah, and the way he was talking about like how he would go about inspecting them, he was like, yeah, I'd eat parts of it. Like sometimes I'd just eat the crust, sometimes just the middle. It was bizarre. He's a bizarre man, a complicated man, and I'm glad he was the first person I decided to report on for this new segment. And the other article I wanted to talk about was the military is studying gamer brains. What? The military, more specifically, the department DARPA, is looking for. This goes well with me having the esports club on earlier. I plan these things. I'm a genius.
For sure.
Yeah.
Look at you. Big rules guy.
But to advance like autonomous drone technology and stuff like that, they're turning to people who play like real-time strategy video games like StarCraft 2 and the Warcraft series and things like that to study. Like they want to study their brains and their eye movements, especially when they're playing these games, so they can use it to advance this drone technology. And it's really weird. It's like it seems like something like that would be classified because it seems important. It's about like drone swarm technology. Like the idea of just using drones to fight in wars, like just by themselves.
I think that's insane.
Yeah, and they want to use people like our old roommate Paul to do it.
Really?
They want people who play video games really
StarCraft
well.
Legends.
Yeah, they want people like our old roommate to come in and get their brains scanned so they can advance this drone technology. It's very interesting. I was actually watching some videos. For some reason, also DARPA just has like a public like YouTube page, and they just have they just have like videos of them testing out these drone swarms.
Really?
Yeah, that are like semi-autonomous and like can do stuff on their own.
Oh my.
Yeah, they have to teach them how to like navigate through smoke and stuff. It's.
I mean, that would be pretty important. Fog exists.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, fog does exist, but it's crazy. It's definitely weird technology, and I'm glad gamers are at the forefront of it.
Sure.
I think it's good that gamers are finally leading the charge. I think that's important. I think that's another real quick thing I want to touch on. Apparently, the president obsessed with badgers. Loves the
Trump?
idea. Yes.
Really thought you meant Hawkinson for a second. I was like, what?
No, the president of the United States. He loves badgers. His chief of staff is from Wisconsin. I don't know how to say the guy's name. His chief of staff. It's a different name, but
He's just a guy.
yeah, he's a guy. He's from Wisconsin, and apparently the president asks him all the time, just how do badgers behave? What are they like?
Google is free.
Are they nice? He wants to get it from a Wisconsin native though. I'm glad he's searching for knowledge. An inquisitive mind, you could say.
Yeah, I would agree.
I think that's important. But what else is important is that we've about hit the end of the show. So thank you so much for listening this week. I had a lot of fun doing the show.
Can't believe I'm on Kutztown Live.
Yeah, I can't believe AC made it. It's been a weird time.
Vice President moves.
Well, thank you so much for listening this week. Make sure you tune in next week, and make sure you catch Undeclared this Monday at 6. You're listening to the radio voice of Kutztown University, KUR.